Child-free women, how often have you dated a guy and at first he was with you about not having kids, but then he changed his mind? And do you think he really changed his mind, or that he was kind of always hoping that you would change yours?
What if you change your mind? It's like too late and they're just living in your house. It's so sad that you have kids. You'd make such a good solo traveler. What are you gonna do when you're old and you can't take care of yourself because you don't have any money because you spent it all on diapers and Parent Plus loans? Are you sure it's a good idea to pass on your genes?
Do you ever feel like it's selfish? You made people be alive today in this economy?
You know, you could always give them up for adoption.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. How you all doing? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you're watching me from. So today's video is on child free by choice. Yes, childlessness. This is for people that have decided not to have kids in the society. So this is a story of a lady that was dating a certain man, and the man agreed not to have kids with her. According to her, she said the man was indifferent. But after the man had a big loss in his family, someone died, he had to rethink his decision, and he started seeing that differently, and he started thinking about growing old. He said he would love to have his family around him when he's older. So because of that, he had a change of mind and said he doesn't think he would continue with this lady. Let me go ahead and read the story, and then I'll read this very interesting comment that had a lot of points in it. Let's get started. I was dating someone I thought was the one. I had come from an emotionally abusive relationship for the first time. I had felt safe in a relationship. He supported me, encouraged me, and I truly did love him. I pictured myself marrying him and growing old with him. We had agreed that not having kids was okay. I was child free, he was indifferent. Until he lost someone close to him. It made him think about that and growing old, and he wanted to do that surrounded by family. I tried to convince him that that meant brothers, sisters, spouse, friends. He said the event had changed his mind and he now wanted children. He broke up with me because he knew I didn't want, and he respected that choice. I'm heartbroken. I don't know what to do. This has happened so many times, trusting myself with people who change their mind anyway. I don't want to find someone else. I don't think there is anyone else out there who can make me feel how he did, and who doesn't want children. The idea of going back into the dating world disgusts me. It took me so long to find him. Guys, what do you think? This is a very, very sad story. A very sad story. But she said he was indifferent. He did not say he wanted kids or he didn't want kids. He was indifferent. So let's read this comment. If he was indifferent, he didn't change his mind. He just made up his mind for the first time. This has happened so many times, trusting myself with people who change their mind anyway. Probably because you're not making sure you only date child-free people. Okay without kids is not child free. You need to find people who would not be okay with them, not those who think they will be okay without them. Indifferent about a major life choice impacting multiple lives is a red flag and should not be acceptable for a partner. This is the mark of exactly the kind of people who then make a rash and poor decisions seemingly out of nowhere, because if they had the decision-making skills to not make such mistakes, they wouldn't be indifferent in the first place. I don't want to find someone else. I don't think there is anyone else out there who can make me feel how he did, and who doesn't want children. The idea of going back into the dating world disgusts me. It took me so long to find him. You don't have to date if you don't want to date. You can also take however long of break from dating you'd like. But you need to be realistic about your options and future prospects, because they are not all doom and gloom, even if it doesn't seem like it. In terms of long-term partners, you didn't find anything valuable with this guy. You just found yet another fence-sitter. They are dime a dozen. At least this one respected you enough to leave once he made up his mind. Even that is not to be taken for granted, sadly. Take your time and move on at your own pace. But if when you go back to dating, put in the effort of not dating fence sitters. It will save you a lot of heartbreak in the long run. There is a screening kit posted on this subreddit that you can use as a template and adapt as needed. So
if you are a woman who dates men and you do not want children, you are absolutely 100% positive. You need to date a man who is also 100% passionately against ever having kids. Not one who's on the fence, I could go either way. Not one who, oh, I haven't really thought about it yet. This is because they can and probably will change their mind. Now, could the woman change her mind too? Sure, she is less likely to do so. Let me tell you why. More so in households with children, women, even women who work full time, wind up doing more of the household and childcare labor than the man does. Now, this is not me stereotyping. These are the facts. If you research this, if you look it up, there's a lot of data to back this up. You can Google it. Now, even if you have the most perfect man in the world and he actually does do 50-50, he still cannot share the brunt of the physical labor with you. He cannot carry the child with you. He cannot bear the burden of nursing your body back to health after the pregnancy for you. When you're a man who gets to just say you want a baby and then watch somebody else do all the work of bringing it into the world for you, basically like ordering something off Amazon, it's a lot easier to change your mind about it. And I can give you plenty of examples. My most long-term relationship, before we were even officially dating, I warned him, I never want children. I will not change my mind about that. And his attitude on it was like, I'm fine with that. I don't need to have kids. I've thought about having kids, but I don't need to have kids. 4.5 years later, he goes to my parents and he asked them about marrying me. And my father, which I found out about this after the fact, obviously, said to him, she does not want children. So you need to be 100% sure if you're going to go through with this, that you do not want children. Now, was that not the exact thing that I said to him before we even started dating? Yes. 6 months later, we're not engaged. And he, in fact, comes to me in this confessional, come to Jesus moment. I do want kids. We break up. I dated a guy later on who, again, I had a conversation early on. A few dates in, I'm like, hey, I don't want to waste your time. Just so you know, I never want children. It's a deal breaker for me. And his attitude on it was, oh, I guess I never thought about it, as an option. I never really thought about the fact that you can choose not to, but that actually sounds really great. We continued to date for a little while. It didn't work out. A few years later, he's married and having kids. So either he was lying to me about being okay with it, or he changed his mind down the road. Another ex that I mentioned, he's got 2 kids now. I could keep going with men that I've dated and seen this pattern with. If you can go either way, fine, perfect. But if you're as sure as I am, this is my warning to you as a woman in her 30s who has seen a lot so far. And before you rush to my comments to say, well, my man was kind of on the fence and I've been with him for X years and he still hasn't changed his mind and he still doesn't want kids, that's amazing, but I think that you are an exception, not the norm.
What do you mean you don't want children? My wife and I just don't want kids. Well, you will outgrow that. I didn't want children either when I was your age. But then I had them anyway, and I resented them because they stole my freedom and crushed my dreams. So I was a terrible father. And now I haven't seen them in 8 years.
Does any of that sound familiar to y'all? I be feeling like that's what parents really want to say to us, child-free people. They really want to say, they really want us to have kids because misery loves company. They want to bond over how much they hate their kids. They want to bond over how much money their kids are costing them, how much freedom and peace their kids are costing them. If you don't have kids, how are y'all going to bond? How are you going to relate to them? Oh, that's right, you can't. I'm going to keep saying this till the cows come home. If you don't want kids, don't have them. Don't have them just because people are telling you to. Fuck them people.
Guys, this is just an advice from a commenter, which I think is a good advice. Like he said, she said he was indifferent. That means he had not made up his mind in the first place. Do you get? So like he said, like the commenter suggested, make sure the person you're dating is on the same page with you. The person has said it that I don't want kids, not I don't mind not having kids. It's different. You have to say I don't want kids. The person has to say it, I don't want kids. Make sure the person is on the same page as you. I understand that people do have a change of mind. Life occurrences can make people change their mind. I understand that. Let that be an exception, but not being with a fence sitter, someone that has not made up your mind, someone that is indifferent. That means when the person makes up their mind, there's a high probability the person might not say what you've always wanted to hear from the person. So just be sure that the person is on the same page as you in the very first place. You get what I mean? This is a very, very sad story. It's not easy going back into the dating pool and finding someone that is child free. Not everyone buys this idea. Not everyone is wanting to be child free. Majority of the people out there want kids to get. So just, she has to be careful, like she has rightly been advised by the commenter. Yeah, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment section. Have you found yourself in this situation? What do you think about it? And how did you get out of it? Did you change your mind as a lady? Have you once said you didn't want kids and you changed your mind? Or have you once said you wanted kids and then you changed your mind not wanting kids? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you guys in another one. Thank you so much for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe. Support this channel with your like. Support this video with your like. If you like this video, YouTube is going to help promote it. Please help like this video at the end of it and also subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and bye.